And it's always like you don't know in between right now.
Remember the cameras up here.
Yeah, I know. I need to remember that. We're
We'll
to
be
keep
looking down the
talking.
whole time.
Although we can see Mayor here. Okay, see, we're live. You know what I mean? So we could see Mayor here though.
Yep.
So it's going to be kind of. So we just got to remember both. Okay. So we're actually live, and let's see, because I don't want to have
Okay, see, we're live.
audio here. No bueno. And so
Oh, yes, we are live.
we are live.
We
What time is
might-
it?
It's 4 o'clock. It's time for our Learning Curve Summit.
Yes,
So thank you all for coming today. It's Thursday, 4 o'clock. And our special guest today is Mayor Ed Waage.
Yay.
Yay. Thank you, Mayor, for being on with us today. We appreciate your time.
I enjoy it.
Thank you. So today we're going to talk to you a little bit about what's going on with the city and some other things. But before we start about what's going on in the city of Pismo Beach, let's find out who Mayor Ed Waage is.
Yes. Tell us.
Tell us about you.
Tell us about you. Tell us about your family. Tell us what you enjoy.
Well, I mean, take me way back when I was a kid. I was curious how things work, and I was taking things apart. Couldn't put them back together, but I was curious how things worked, and that led to my interest in science. I have a doctorate in chemistry. Um, I've also been fascinated by government, though. I always kept up on what was happening. After I got my doctorate, I taught chemistry, and then I got into emergency preparedness for the state of Illinois. Came to California, back to California, and had a 25-year career in emergency preparedness at PG&E Diablo Canyon. And after I retired from there, I did get a job in Vienna, Austria for the International Atomic Energy Agency, part of the United Nations.
Wow.
After I came back, I got on the planning commission, and a couple of councilmen, actually Mayor Higginbotham and Councilmember Marianne Reese said I should run for office, and I did on the council, and been on the council for 8 years and mayor for 4 years. But I'm fascinated with governments. I took things apart to find out how they work, and now in government, I'm trying to figure out how government works. Now I can be part of it. So, but there's a lot going on right now, I think, as you're all aware. Let me just address perhaps the COVID situation first. I've been tracking our COVID rates here in Pismo Beach, and fortunately, they remain quite low. So I think it's a tribute to what our businesses and our residents are both doing to try to maintain all the things we have to keep everyone safe. As far as what's happening in the city, again, so many things. You may have seen on KSBY, they had a story about the additional lane on Highway 101.
Right.
And that's, we're going to have a presentation at an upcoming council meeting next Tuesday from Caltrans and SLOCOG. SLOCOG is the San Luis Obispo Council of Governments, and I do serve as the city's rep on SLOCOG. It's important, I think, as everyone realizes, to if you're going to have a thriving economy, a thriving city, you need to have good transportation. And right now, that Highway 101 at Shell Beach is really problematic. But what Caltrans is going to show is that they're proposing a third lane, a managed lane. It will not be open all the time. It will just be open during commute hours in the afternoon, or on heavy weekend when there's a lot of traffic. We will have that presentation and chance for everyone to see what's going on there.
And that's this coming Tuesday, right?
This coming Tuesday, it's
So
a
anybody that would be
presentation
interested
from
in
Caltrans. And that's triggered partly because the draft EIR for this project has now been released. In fact, if you would like to get more information about it and comment on it, if you go to SLOCOG, that's SLOCOG.org, O-R-G, on the front page of the that SLOCOG's webpage is a story about this effort. So
Okay.
you can comment on the EIR and through Caltrans, and I believe there's a link on SlowCog to go there. But
Okay.
again, that's something that it's a cooperative effort between, in fact, SlowCog means San Luis Obispo Council of Governments, and SlowCog is the agency that does all of the transit and transportation funding. But that's a major effort for us from SlowCog. But so many other things happening in the city right now.
Now, how long has that been kind of formulating, I guess, behind the scenes?
The third lane has been an effort ever since they did a study about 10 years ago on what's the best way to relieve congestion on Highway 101. There were several options. You have to look at a variety of things. Transit is one of them, but the third lane is another one. And park and ride. In fact, there's several efforts to try to get more people to ride together, and that helps relieve congestion too. And SlowCog does have a rideshare coordinator to help businesses, especially, to come up with programs to encourage employees to ride together.
And we'll go ahead and post that website here also, so that anybody that wants to make any comments or offer feedback, they have the opportunity to do that. And can you reiterate the day and time of the city council meeting next Tuesday if people want to be?
It's October 20th at 5:30 p.m. and it is virtual. You can go to our website and look under agendas, pismobeach.org, look under agendas, and it'll tell you how to get on to comment, or you can always watch on channel 20 if you have charter.
Yes, that's always a good option. Or you can message the chamber if you need any of the login information. We'd be happy to assist also. Okay, so that's a huge thing because we've all been stuck in that traffic area, I guess, which for us to be able to be stuck in any kind of traffic here is it's something to be said, because I think, we don't normally have that kind of thing. Yeah, we don't really have traffic.
What is
just
traffic?
like we don't have hot weather, and we don't know what to do with all this hot weather. Like there's just certain things we're accustomed to here on the Central Coast, and I always say we're just so spoiled, as we should be. But
Right.
but those are good efforts, and that's something that I think that will help tremendously, because we all have been backlogged in that area at one point or another. So so anyhow, thanks for that.
Mayor,
And-
could you tell me one more time, because I'm trying to type it in, what for the Caltrans, the slow clog?
It's SLOCOG.org.
Let me see if
.org. Okay,
Yes.
got it. Nope.
And it's on that the main page. It has a story about the effort. As I
Okay.
say, the EIR is out, and unfortunately, the Caltrans is also having a Zoom meeting that same time as our council meeting to take comment on their draft EIR. So it's unfortunate it's the same evening as our city council meeting, but we are going to have a presentation on that.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Another item on our upcoming agenda is the ADU, auxiliary dwelling unit ordinance. The state mandates that cities and counties allow auxiliary dwelling units, and for us, we encourage ADUs to provide more housing, but for us too, we're trying to maintain a certain level of parking in our coastal areas in the coastal zone. And so we looked into what we can do. We're trying to both have a more housing, but also to maintain our parking throughout especially the coastal areas. So we are, we do have an ordinance, I believe this is the second reading, to try to address that very issue. So we have both ADUs and adequate parking in the, especially like the Shell Beach area. That's also on our agenda. We also have something dear to everyone's heart is we asked the staff to come back with a proposal on how we can handle the trash better. All the coastal cities in California have been really hit hard with all the trash from COVID.
Right.
Sure.
All the additional
All the
people coming here. You can't go on a
to-go
cruise ship. People are coming here, which is great, but unfortunately, the trash has been
Out of
it's been
control.
more than we can handle. I mean, we pride ourselves on having a clean city, and
Yeah.
if you're going to have a, you know, if you're going to be a welcoming city, it's got to be a clean city. So the staff is coming back with a proposal to basically add some more people. Our existing staffing is just not adequate. We've tried other things. You know, you folks have been helping out too, and we just decided that we asked staff to bring something back. They're bringing that back for our consideration this coming Tuesday as well.
Well, yeah, we were with Jim yesterday.
We were with Jim Lewis yesterday. Yes, and
And
saw
it's-
some of the guys pressure washing the benches
Yep.
and the little tiny trash collector that you have out on the beach emptying trash. So there's just a lot more trash right now with all the to-go containers, and unfortunately, that's just the way it is right now. So
But we see the efforts that, you know, I know we were taking pictures, and when we see them out there helping and cleaning, you know,
Yep.
we're trying to thank them as often as we can. And we know you guys are doing the best you can there
Yeah.
too. But it's just ongoing, and we're all feeling it, and you know, we all want to contribute and try
Yep.
to help
we
wherever
want to help
can,
wherever we can.
and encourage others to help. So
It's been a challenge, and I realize too, our businesses are doing their best as well to try to, if there's takeout, to try to minimize the amount of trash in the takeout, or you know, when they
Right.
package items, are trying to minimize the amount of trash that will be generated, which is part of it. If we can stop it from having too much at the outset, we're in much better shape.
right.
We are also moving forward on our recycled water project. We had the previous council meeting, we had a capital improvement program update, and that's key to trying to make sure we have adequate water. I think, as a lot of people are aware, during the last drought, we did have some indications of saltwater intrusion on our groundwater basin, and this project will recycle the water and allow for us to inject clean water, recycled water, into the groundwater basin. And it's a partnership with Arroyo Grande and Grover Beach. We have MOAs, memorandum of agreements, between the three cities and how we're going to pay for it. And we've also gotten some some grants thus far, and we'll be applying for more grants to try to help pay for it with these grants. There's quite a bit of grant money for these programs, and both at state and federal level, we'll be trying to get more grants.
Excellent.
All good stuff.
Yeah.
All good stuff. Never ending, but I'm sure you're used to that, right? The one thing I wanted to back up though for a quick second. Now, you've done a lot of things, and you're super busy, but there has to be moments where you take some downtime.
Yeah.
You know, you have a wife, and you know, I'm sure you enjoy the community. So can you kind of tell us a little bit about what you enjoy doing outside of all of this other stuff that you're doing that's all business?
Does he have time to
Do
do
you
anything
have,
else?
I know.
I don't know.
My wife and I like to dance. You know,
Aw,
she can't dance right now, but
well, you
if there's an
can't.
event where there's
It's at
music,
home.
she and I like to dance. Or if she not up to it, I'll find someone else to be a temporary dance partner. But we both like to dance, and that's something we enjoy.
Aw.
We've danced at Harry's. One of our friends is in a band, and when he plays there, we try to get down there. And
Cool.
you can't
What
do it during
band can I
COVID,
ask?
but pre-COVID we did. We're looking forward to post-COVID.
What band can I ask? A
Um,
lot of the bands.
they keep changing their name.
Oh. Listen, well, I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
So
What's
what's
the
your
current
favorite kind of
name?
dancing? That's what we'll
yeah,
ask.
what's your
favorite kind of dancing? So like swing dancing.
A swing, yes.
Yes.
I enjoy. Jenny and I both enjoy swing, and
That's fun.
I did. In fact, I did folk dancing when I was in college and university, and I've always enjoyed dancing. And
Do you like
so-
jazz? Do you like jazz? You know,
sure,
the Jazz
yeah,
Jubilee is right around the corner.
it's coming up.
It's a virtual, so anybody can watch it from the convenience of your home, and you can do all the dancing you want. But yeah, that'll be the 24th and 25th. You can take pictures.
The Jubilee folks, are having, just like everyone else, and having to
Yeah.
adapt to the changing times right now.
Yeah,
It's been a struggle, but I think we're getting through it. And I think that's the key thing.
absolutely. Everybody's getting very creative,
Right. Yeah.
I'm working closely with the Jazz Jubilee folks, and for that demographic of people to be able to convert their audience over to virtual is amazing. It's people can be trained, even when
Sure.
you assume that genre cannot be, and we're excited because everybody can watch it from everywhere.
Right. I
you
think it's
know
pretty cool to be able to watch
it's
it from home.
it's super cool.
You know,
Super cool.
you
Yeah.
couldn't
Well,
do
and I
that
think that's
before.
something that, through this COVID, we need to have some sense of normalcy too. We just
Right.
can't stay holed up and wait for it to get over. You have to be involved in something. And
Right.
if you can be involved virtually and engaged, that's all to the good.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. And music is a big component of a lot of our lives and puts us in our happy place.
Oh, I love music.
I know you love
Yeah.
music. I love
Yeah.
music. So, and it's needed right now.
Yeah, I think, in fact, we had a we had a proclamation on domestic violence month, our last council meeting, and that's unfortunate. In fact, the chief mentioned it during his presentation too. Is when people are at home and they're losing their jobs, it just leads to all kinds of stress internally. And as I say, whatever we can do to try to keep people engaged and get outdoors and be involved and being safe throughout all of it. But
Right.
we need to have some sense of normalcy and just get through it.
Yeah, the other big challenge has been the virtual learning for kids, and I have a grandson, and just kind of seeing him struggle online. I mean, he's 8 years old, but and to see a classroom of kids of that age, and you've got parents in them, you got the kids distracted, siblings coming in, and it's
Mhm.
craziness. It's like
Mhm.
it's a whole different world, and it's concerning. So
Yeah.
I know it was for me when I saw it, for myself, but these are the times that we're adjusting to right now, and parents being home. I know parents that have to like
Work.
manage their schedules, and one has to be home with the kids and the other one's going in,
Yeah.
and then it's just turned everything upside down, literally, and adjusting to that, I think, has been tough for a lot of people. So um what do? You just keep on moving,
You have to keep doing it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mayor,
my daughter's dealing with it too. She does staff support at University of California at Davis on the math department, so she can do a lot of her work for home. But my grandson's in the first grade and he's doing first grade virtually, so she's has to manage that and has to manage her job and everything else. So it's
Yeah.
a struggle.
It really
Yeah,
is.
it
It
is.
really is.
So we do have one question.
We have a
Sure.
question.
We have a question on Facebook.
Yay.
And this says, years ago, they had a tractor with a thing that drug behind it to pick up trash. Is this still an option?
Huh.
So was it like a big tractor with a rake kind of a thing, maybe?
Well, we do rake the sand regularly, and I'm not sure what kind of equipment they use, but I know we do try to both rake the sand as well as do the pickup and so forth.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so who knew?
So keep in mind, feel free to ask any questions that you would like. We'll be on for some time, so if you want to put them in the feed, we're happy to address them as they come in. Okay, so now we know all your secrets. You like to dance.
And at least he has one daughter. How many
Yes.
kids do you have?
One daughter?
Well, yeah, one daughter and a grandson and a son-in-law, and unfortunately we can't visit them until this COVID thing is over.
Yeah.
So it's only virtual at this
Yeah.
point, but we're looking forward to getting past this and starting to
Get back to normal,
get the
right?
families back together again.
Yeah.
It'll be a new norm.
But I'll tell you, everybody is learning the heck out of Zoom.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
I'm a pro now.
Zoom, FaceTime,
Oh, yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, anything virtual. So
So, Mayor, what can you tell us about our new downtown plaza?
yes, the new
I love it.
ever.
And that slide is fast.
It is.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you went down it. We saw.
I went down once. That's enough.
I haven't gone down.
I've been 3
yeah,
times.
she's
Well,
gone down
it's,
3
as I say,
times
it's fast. It's it's for kids or
for kids.
folks that like to be considered that
kids.
we're still kids. Again, I think that it turned out very well. If you watched our council meetings, we were considering how to put this together. It was a struggle because we couldn't figure out just where even to put the restroom. But we
remember that.
struggled through
remember.
it, and
You remember.
we had a council meeting down the pier area and the pier parking lot area, and we walked through it and had mock-ups, and
Yep.
you folks were involved, the
Yeah.
feedback, and it was a struggle, but that struggle paid off. We kept going back and forth on design and placement and what amenities and the art. I mean, we several years ago we passed an ordinance saying every time we have a capital project, we're going to have some art because we want to make the downtown attractive, and that's we've got some great people that have helped us select the art. The Parks Rec and Beautification Commission is in charge of helping to put the art program together. They've done a great job, and as I say, the play area for kids, that was part of the idea too, is let's get families downtown and enjoy this beautiful area that we call Pismo Beach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all the additional seating is a huge help, for the business community, for the restaurants with all the outdoor dining and all
Yep.
of that. So,
The tables with the nice little checkers.
right.
Very cute.
Yeah.
And there's space for events whenever we can get, whenever we can have
For
events,
our
events again.
farmers
For our
market
farmers
that we're
market.
eventually
A
gonna
farmers
have.
market. Our
Eventually gonna
October
have.
is Clam Festival month, and I think that was on your agenda to talk about too.
Yeah, we wanted to touch on the Clam Festival. And so how many years will this be for the Clam Festival? It's like the
74th.
74, I believe. Yeah.
74.
Yes.
74.
Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't that
It's the
something?
same age as our city, I guess. So the city will be 75.
That's right.
Oh.
That's right. Because there's going to be a 75th anniversary this coming year.
Oh, right.
Right.
There is.
2021.
In April.
Yes.
The city was incorporated in 1946. I was looking at the original, it's kind of amusing. I was looking at the original documents that are on our webpage under agendas, and the agendas back then were talking about hiring a police chief for like $25 a month or something. And, I think
Wow.
we pay our chief a little more
So
than that
that's
now. I
cheap.
think
That's crazy.
Yep.
That would be interesting though.
Yeah.
To kind of
but that's been part of our tradition is the Clam Festival, the Clam Chowder, and of course we have not virtual, but we have there'll be judging through the restaurants this time.
Right.
We can't have an event, and I think maybe you folks can talk more about that.
Yeah. Well, next week on our learning curve, we're going to actually have clam chowder in front of us.
We are going to do a clam chowder contest here on our Learning Curve Summit and talk about each one of the
Yeah.
restaurants and
how people can participate and
wine pairing with
Right,
it.
right.
So
we have to pair wine with it.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
so yeah, next week we'll be tasting all the different chowders.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's various different restaurants from October the 10th till the 24th that you
Right.
can go to, taste the chowder, and then vote online.
Go online and
So,
vote. So
yeah.
But next week, 4:00 on our learning curve, we will run through the gamut of
Yep.
different chowders and
Tell you a little bit about each restaurant,
Yep.
and
It should be a fun time.
should be.
We're gonna have wine, so make sure you have your wine with you.
We can have chowder and wine together.
Chowder and wine. But yeah, I mean, but it's things like that where we've got to make the best of the circumstance that we're in, and
Right.
at least the city is continuing a tradition that they've been doing for a very, very long time. And
74 years.
74 years. And
Yeah.
it's just one of those things that we'll look back on and say, hey, remember that year?
Well, our restaurants do a great job. They're very creative, and that's one of the toughest jobs. Is once I became mayor, you get to be a judge, and it's very hard. It's
It is
very
hard.
hard. There's a lot of different varieties or different styles, and it's like, wow, they're for this style, this one's great. For this style, this one's great, and
Yeah.
it's tough, but
But somebody's got to do it, right?
I know.
It's a tough job.
I'm not trying to get sympathy here. I'm just trying to explain that you've got a lot of great chowders.
I think this year will be my 3rd year for being judge.
Yeah.
3rd or 4th. But it is hard. It's last year, I don't know if you remember, Mayor, but we asked to taste 2 different chowders for a second time because we couldn't decide.
Right.
And so they brought us 2 different chowders from 2 different restaurants. We tasted it, and then
and it's a
casted our
huge
vote.
deal. I know that,
Yeah.
I know us in the business community, we're buzzing really fast and we want to know,
Yeah.
who won.
Who won?
Who won?
Well, this year it's kind of different the way we're judging. So next week I have a specific restaurant that I'm tasting
Okay.
and a time at the visitor center. All
Oh,
by myself, I guess.
really?
I think so. That's the way it sounded.
Interesting.
Did you know about that, Mayor? Are we all by ourselves?
I know that I was invited to come to City Hall for a tasting.
Uh-huh.
Huh.
I just got that invite. I think it was today. So
Me too. From
it's going to
Mickey.
be next week. Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So
Yeah.
I think we'll be socially distanced and appropriately,
Right.
taking all the precautions.
Of course.
Sounded that way.
Of course. And which is important, and if any of our business community is watching, those things are definitely still important. And the signage up, we're going to be sending something out here soon to remind you all of the things that you should still be implementing and enforcing in each of your businesses.
Mask wearing. Yeah.
Masks are a must. Yes.
Yes. Well, we want to in our county slow the spread of COVID.
Right.
So the mask wearing when you're in your business is still mandatory
Absolutely.
and should be
Enforced.
enforced. Yes.
Really should.
Yeah.
Really should.
And we've been, in fact, maybe I'll just check right now. But as far as I know, we have not had an additional case of COVID here in this city for about the last 2.5 weeks.
Oh, my
I'm always
goodness.
hesitant to say that because once I say it, we'll have one.
Yeah,
but,
Pismo done a great job.
I think so too.
Done a great job.
As I said, it's
They've
a
done
tribute to,
Maybe you are.
in fact, as we are looking here, let me look for today, and we're okay today. We have not had one for 2.5 weeks.
There you have it.
Isn't that great?
And since the infection period's about 2 weeks, that means we probably don't have any active cases right now in Pismo Beach. But those are the ones we detected. There's always young folks that seem to have be asymptomatic. We don't know about them. So you definitely have to continue being careful.
Right. Always. Okay, so what else is going on with the city, and what are if there were the top 3 things that anybody in this community should know about?
Well, I think I talked about the groundwater Central Coast Blue recycle water project. The other major one is downtown park, and we had Ben Fine gave us an update on all of our capital improvement projects. And as part of that, was actually part of another portion too, which is the parking, a parking presentation. And our parking agenda item, basically, we do generate enough money to have a parking structure. And we've been doing some preliminary work, trying to make sure the numbers work out. We'll be looking at purchasing some more property. But parking is something that besides traffic and congestion we need to address, and that's been one of the council goals. And that if you go to our website, that's one of our top goals is parking downtown. And we're trying also various smart. In fact, we are going to receive an award for being a smart city. And one of the efforts is to better manage our traffic through smart techniques. So we're looking at those options to try to get people where they need to go.
Right.
And that's part of a strategy with the smart parking meters and other methods. So we're trying to use technology also to manage things better. So we're moving forward on that. Another project is the Bellow Street. We have the Bellow Street is where our police and fire stations are, and we're continuing to work on get those upgraded so that we basically have a better structure for our firefighters to work out of. And that's also one of our city goals, is to work on both expanded police department headquarters and also a new fire station on the corner of Bellow and Wadsworth. As I say, it's one of our top goals, and we are working forward on that. So
I think that's an important goal, because right now, I don't know if a lot of people realize that our firemen don't even sleep in the firehouse. They sleep outside in a mobile home.
That's a
And
modular home, yes.
Yeah, a modular home. And so that's a whole extra minute plus for
Right.
them to get out of that modular home and run to those
Right.
fire trucks. And I don't know if people realize that, but it will be so nice for our firemen to be able to sleep in the firehouse.
Right.
Which is, I believe, probably how they came up with firehouse, right? Because they slept in it.
Oh, the fire station is it was originally a volunteer fire station, and that's where you rang the alarm, you sounded the siren, the volunteer firefighters ran to the station and took off. And now we have professional firefighters, and they're on 24/7. So we need quarters for them, and that's another one of our goals for the city.
So we do have a comment here, Mayor, from Tim Toomey from 7-Eleven.
Hi, Tim.
Hi, Tim. Hi, Tim. So he says, Mr. Mayor, Lisa, and Val, just a quick shout out to say thank you for all you do constantly.
Thanks, Tim. You're the best. We'll have to come and get our hot dogs at 7-Eleven.
I like the icy first.
You two are great.
The icy's right now.
I know you have regular day jobs and you're doing all this other work on behalf of the chamber too. I appreciate that.
Well, it's our pleasure.
It is most days.
I don't know about Val, but I love this town. So I do it because I love it. So
absolutely.
I
love the business community. Yep. Small businesses.
Yep. So somebody wrote here, really, let's talk about opening the Oceana Dunes.
That always comes up every time we have a discussion.
Even if we do trash pickup, when are the dunes going to open?
Everybody is all about the dunes and wants feedback.
So here's the thing on the dunes, and I'm going to just say this really quick, and then we're going to move on. The dunes, it's not up to the city of Pismo Beach or Grover Beach. It is a state issue. There's nothing that we can do about opening the dunes until Governor Newsom or the state says that we can open our dunes. So
anything to add to that, Mayor?
No, I think you basically, it's basically been elevated all the way to the governor's office, as I understand, because at the last Coastal Commission, the Secretary of Natural Resources, Wade Crowfoot, spoke, and it's getting the highest level attention on how to proceed. And I realize it's frustrating that those enjoy recreating there, but it's really out of our hands.
It is, and we have another question about the dunes, but it's just about opening the dunes again. So again, the dunes, it's not up to the mayor, it's not up to the city of Pismo, it's not even up to SLO County.
So any concerns, I guess, the thing is, like, where do these people direct, their efforts and the communication that they want to get the dunes open? So it would either Coastal Commission, the governor, and
state parks.
And state parks. Yeah, state parks or the governor.
Right.
Because
I know there was a protest this past weekend
Saturday
here in the parking lot. There's going to be another one, I believe, this weekend. I want to say also Saturday. and there's a lot of people that want the dunes open,
Mhm.
you know,
Mhm.
so
A lot of people.
a
Yeah.
lot, a
That,
lot.
that want camping, they want to drive on the dunes. I think for some people, they have, maybe an elderly parent or a handicapped child, and they want to be able to take their child onto to the beach.
Right.
And with the dunes being closed, they can't take their kids out on the beach.
Well, and I know a big frustration was when it was going to open initially,
Right,
that they
October
didn't find
1st.
out until, I mean, all of the cancellations and the plans, and so that's, I think, a big part of the frustration is, had they known earlier and been able to,
Right,
deal with
right.
that and planning, but to know right up to the date, um, I think has been really frustrating for a lot of people. So,
Sure, sure.
but we can talk about the dunes all day long because we have done that before.
We have. Maybe we should do another
And
one.
maybe
Or
I
do
just
one.
go back to something else that is housing. That's not something that is, well, the housing is very difficult to solve. But I mentioned our ADUs is something we have been pushing. We are also moving forward on that in partnership with People Self-Help Housing on a 50-unit low to moderate income housing on 4th Street. That's going to expand some housing, but I also I also serve on the local agency formation commission, LAFCO, which approves any annexation to a city has to be approved by LAFCO. And for example, we approved the San Luis Ranch annexation in San Luis Obispo. There's a large housing component there. But I guess my point is there's several cities that are going through annexations through the annexation process. It's up in Paso Robles, but they have a gateway project. We had a presentation this morning on that, which will provide a lot more housing, actually more low to moderate housing, as well as a resort. But it's a major project up in Paso Robles. And then there's additional projects, Froome Ranch and moving along in San Luis Obispo. So I guess the bottom line is the cities are looking at ways to expand housing. We don't have a lot of options here except infill. We don't have large tracts that we can immediately put more housing on, but as I say, through the ADU, we're looking at expanding some housing there.
That's good.
That'll be
That's
excellent.
good news.
Yep.
That's good news.
So we did have something else here from Effie McDermott, and she says, "Thank you,
Hi, Effie.
Mayor." Hi, Effie.
Hi, Effie.
Mayor, Effie says, "Thank you, Mayor, for the mosquito abatement."
Oh,
So did we have a mosquito problem?
Well, this goes back about 10 years ago, shortly after actually longer than that, when I first got on the council, I discovered that, well, the county decided they were going to stop doing mosquito abatement. And I said, we've got problems with mosquitoes, the West Nile virus and so forth. And I talked to different folks. I brought it up at a council meeting and talked to state parks, and we were able to have a fairly, plus the staff helped out. We were able to continue mosquito abatement in this city. We're the only city doing mosquito abatement. We contract with Santa Barbara County Vector Control District, and State Parks is doing at the same time. They want to do mosquito abatement, so we contract with the same folks. We save money by both contracting with the same group, and we're doing mosquito abatement in this city, and Pismo Creek and also along James Way, a couple areas they do treat, and State Parks does treat the Pismo Lake behind the mobile home park as well. So we're
That's
doing
really
mosquito abatement.
important because that mosquito abatement hits home with the Pismo Beach Chamber of Commerce. So one of our board members, her husband was bit by a mosquito, and I'm kind of going to get verklempt here, but he almost lost his life and was in the hospital. And
Changed his whole life.
it has changed his whole entire life by being bit by one mosquito, and he got West Nile virus.
West Nile virus.
And it is a life-changing, ongoing medical thing for him every day. So I had no idea that our city did that. So
we're learning. It's a learning
Well,
area.
I had the same experience. A family friend of my wife's in Fresno caught West Nile virus, and it depends how it attacks the body, but attacked her spine, and she almost died from it.
Yep.
But she did come back, and as they say, I was motivated to try to get it to keep that program going when the county gave it up.
Wow. Yeah. So
that's great. One of the things that I don't know that we've touched on, and I saw something, I want to say it was on KSBY, was about the butterfly.
The butterfly grove. Yeah.
The butterfly grove. That clearly draws a lot of people still. And did you want to speak to that a little bit about if anybody out there hasn't been there, or give them an idea of what they can expect, or what the months are that you can expect that?
Well, the butterflies, the monarch butterflies come to winter at Pismo Beach. In fact, I think they're arriving right around now through the winter, and then they'll take off. But it's amazing, the process. The butterflies do migrate through several generations, and somehow they find their way, the wintering and summering areas. And unfortunately, they are in decline. I read a Wall Street Journal article a while back that described that part of the problem is the wintering areas in Mexico too they're losing habitat. So between problems perhaps in this area or problems elsewhere, is we are losing them, and hopefully we need to do everything we can to try to make sure they will survive. It's I think the Fish and Wildlife are considering whether or not to consider them endangered or not, but we need to protect them.
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful when you go out there.
It is. Yeah.
It's amazing.
Oh, it's amazing.
It's amazing. Yeah, really.
And I did read somewhere, I believe the state parks has removed the telescopes right now because of the COVID thing. I mean, they're trying to avoid congregation and so forth. So getting people too close together. But when you look, see those, the thousands of mosquitoes on the branches of those eucalyptus trees, it's quite amazing.
It is. It really is. I've been out there with our kids before. It was interesting to see that the decline of past years, but possibly because of all the fires, like in the Santa Cruz area, we could possibly have more butterflies come to Pismo Beach because of that. So we'll see.
We welcome them. Just Pismo is a welcoming area, right?
It is.
Yes.
Yes. So I'm just going to touch on some of this because, Mayor, we are getting a lot of questions. Like I said, even if we do trash pickup, we get lots of questions about the dunes opening. And we did a whole entire hour and 15-minute segment. We actually went over our normal time and talked about the dunes. But Dave and whoever else is commenting on the dunes, we will probably do another learning curve summit just on the dunes. We're not ignoring your questions, but this is not a talk about the dunes today.
Right.
So,
right. But we will come back.
But we will come back and revisit
reach out to state parks.
Or if you wish, you can find our YouTube or on Facebook.
It's up there though. But we did a whole discussion, I want to say 2 months ago, with Kevin at State Parks. And that was definitely one of our most viewed, and we're probably
and a business owner of the ATV of the ATVs. So
who's been impacted. So we're due for another, and we will see if we can reach out and get some kind of response to see if they can come back online and answer your questions as they pertain to the dunes opening. That we know it's a hot topic. So
but we're not ignoring it. It's just we get asked it every time we post
regularly.
And something else that is going on in the city, it's we're working on some of the parts of it right now, is we're doing our general plan, local coastal plan update. And that's another one of our goals, because about 2/3 of the cities in the coastal zone. It means that all of the all the update pretty much has to be run by the Coastal Commission. So we do have an ad hoc committee looking at reviewing it, and we're making some progress on it. We will be reaching out to the public. We welcome your comments when we get items out for draft. It is the local coastal plan. Again, it does have to be approved by the Coastal Commission, and so we do, as we draft, we try to send it by them to see what their reaction is before we release it to the public, so we can, when we release it to the public for their comment, we have a reasonable assurance the Coastal Commission will approve it. We're also trying to have a single coastal plan, general plan for the entire city. Right now we have really two plans, one for the coastal area, one outside the coastal area. We're trying very hard to combine the two to make it simpler, but we do want public comment when we put it out, because it's going to be basically our blueprint on how Pismo Beach will move forward in the future.
Mm.
I might add too, one item that is significant on getting Coastal Commission approval is how we address sea level rise. And we did a sea level rise study. It's draft at this point, but we'll be incorporating that in the coastal plan. And again, that'll be part of our effort when we release it to the public, get comment on on how we're proceeding.
Okay. So we can stay tuned for more on that.
Sorry, I keep looking at my phone. Again, hot topic is the dunes.
Yeah.
So we'll have
It's
to.
a hot button for a
It's
lot
a
of
hot
people.
button.
It really is. And we get it. We definitely get it.
We get it. So I think I could safely say that when we had our Learning Curve Summit on the dunes, I let everybody know at that time that my own personal opinion was I would like to see the dunes opened. I want our businesses to thrive and make money. And as far as the position of the Pismo Beach Chamber of Commerce, again, we are the Pismo Beach Chamber of Commerce, and we do want our businesses to thrive and make money. So
this impacts the business community in a negative way. And so we as a board did make a decision.
We did vote on it.
To support the opening of the Oceano Dunes.
Right.
So
and
just
personally, it is my position.
I also wanted it, but the whole board decided collectively. And again, the impact of the business community and what's happening with that. We are a Chamber of Commerce. We are here to support the business community, and that's our position. So everybody out there that's watching, we've said it. That's where we're at, and we're happy with that decision. So
yes,
as a board,
but we have no control over what happens with the dunes.
Right.
So, but that is our position. Since it kept being asked and why we didn't answer it, we just felt we should answer it. And then we did get somebody else that said, "Oh, thank you for your response," and we got a thank you for your conversation today. We always learn something new on the Learning Curve Summit.
That's what it's for.
That's the whole idea, right?
We hope so. We hope people take away good information from these,
And if not good information, at least maybe they have fun with us, because next Thursday will just be kind of fun, but we will be talking about each one of the restaurants.
Right.
And
their style of their chowder. I mean, everybody's so different.
And wine pairing.
Yeah.
We're doing it for you.
Wine pairing.
Again, you've got a tough job too. Yes.
It is tough. Thank you for noticing that for us.
I know last week we were up at the inn at the pier.
Yes.
We were streaming live from there.
Yeah. Well, last week we did our Real Men Wear Pink.
Yeah.
It was a dinner for
for American Cancer Society.
For the Cancer Society.
So we help other nonprofits when we can too.
Yes, we do.
So, and obviously breast cancer and just cancer in general goes a long way with our entire board. Lisa was of course affected by that, so it hits home with us. So But yeah, it was a good time. It was a good turnout, and we got to reconnect with a lot of people. So
Yeah.
thank you, Tom Becker, our real man that wears pink.
For the entire month of October, he wears pink.
Yep.
To bring awareness to breast cancer.
Bring
So
attention. And
yeah.
he brings attention.
Yes, he
He has a
does.
pink backpack, pink shirt, pink sunglasses. He like does the whole thing. So
Yeah. Yeah.
we have fun with it. So what else do you have for us, Mayor? There's lots of stuff. You've got a lot going on. I don't know how you stay on top of everything.
I think he's probably like Batman and doesn't sleep.
Well, as I mentioned,
He's like, yeah.
there's a lot of regional boards and commissions too that affect what happens here in Pismo Beach, and it's important to keep track of what's happening there too. I also we had the League of California Cities had their annual meeting, and our Coastal Cities group did meet as well, our annual meeting, and we are working on sea level rise adaptation, a framework, along with the Coastal Commission. The Coastal Commission did have a session on it on both their Thursday and Friday rather. We have a special meeting with the Coastal Commission tentatively scheduled for in December to talk about it, but I do chair the Coastal Cities group, and we, along with the county, California State Association of County Reps, have been meeting with a subgroup of the Coastal Commission to try to find out how we can creatively adapt to sea level rise, because there's enormous policy issues inherent in trying to address it. We have a lot of infrastructure that's affected by it, and if you can't protect that infrastructure, then it means you could lose some housing. So it's a complicated issue, and as I say, it's been very interesting, rewarding to try to go through it, and I'm hopeful that our meeting in December with the Coastal Commission will provide some additional direction on how we can address these very complex issues.
Yeah, those are some pretty big undertakings.
It is.
That's for sure.
Yeah, that's
for sure.
a big one. So,
well, I just want to say, well, I have one question for you. Another question. So, what do you enjoy most about being the mayor of Pismo Beach?
It's a beautiful city. When I first moved here, I never would have thought I would become the mayor of the city. I was busy at the time when working and everything, and but it's a beautiful city. We've got a great staff. I'm proud of what we've accomplished downtown, especially we've been trying to fix up the city in various ways. So I enjoy looking at what we've done. I enjoy representing this city at events. So it's something I'm proud of. I enjoy chatting with folks, seeing what their concerns are, and seeing what how we're doing. But as I say, it's a city's doing well. It's been challenging this with the COVID, with everyone's struggling through it. Our businesses, our residents, our visitors, we're all trying to get through this. But
right.
I think, on balance, we'll get through this, and we will be stronger when we get through it.
Absolutely.
Very good. Okay. I think we're done for the day.
Well, thank you for taking the time out, because you're super busy.
I know.
Super busy.
Sometimes I really do, Mayor. Sometimes I listen to you talk about all the different boards that you're on, and I'm on one. and you have your hands in many pots. So thank you so much for taking the time to be on our Learning Curve Summit. We really appreciate you and all you do for our city. And with that, I'm going to say, everybody, please don't forget Sundays at 8 o'clock in the morning, 8 a.m. The Pismo Beach Chamber is out there, and we are picking up trash. We give you masks, gloves, trash bags. We now have picker-uppers. We had a person donate like 10 pickers to us. So we have quite a few pickers for people. So that's Sunday, 8 o'clock in the morning, I park over by the Pismo Beach sign in the Pier Plaza parking lot. Parking is free from 8 until 10. So come on
Then-
down and join us to
Then you can
help keep
go
our
have
streets.
breakfast
You can
or
go have
Bloody Mary.
breakfast
So
or-
I'll be there this Sunday.
Oh, yay.
I will be there this Sunday.
And then next Thursday, as we've said, we're going to talk about
Clam
clam
chowder.
chowder.
Clam chowder pairing.
Yes. I think Val's going to do more of the pairing
Yeah,
part. I'll do the
probably.
chowder.
She'll be your sommelier, huh?
Yes,
Right.
yes,
I'll
the
try.
sommelier.
I'll try.
Thank you
Okay,
again,
Thank
Mayor.
you so much.
Thank you
We
for
appreciate it.
having
We
me, and
appreciate
thank you for all
everything.
you're doing.
Thank you. It's our pleasure.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.